In today's video, I want to talk about the flow rate mode and the orifice valve setting in our spray system app. So as we go into our spray system app, on the far right hand side we have flow rate mode. We have standard flow and we have status is OK down here at the bottom. So once we click into this, if your machine has a high flow pump on it, you would see the top option for high flow. But if you do not have the high flow, that would not be there, and you would just have standard flow and low flow. The flow rate mode allows you to choose between the high, standard, or the low flow rate. The correct flow rate must be selected to attain the desired application rate. So for an example, the flow meter and orifice valve positions must be changed manually to match the flow setting selected. So when you pick a setting here, it doesn't actually change the valve on the machine. You have to manually match the flow setting to what you pick on the screen. The low flow option is what I call a 10-gallon valve. So if you do not have the high flow system, then you will have one orifice valve and it shows the position that it needs to be in when you're in the low flow option. So anything 10 gallons or less, you would want to close that orifice valve. Your standard flow would be 10 gallons or more at a higher speed. So for an example, if you're doing 10 gallons to the acre at 15 miles per hour, you would probably want the orifice valve there to be in the open position. If you're doing 10 gallons or less an acre and you're doing right at that 10 miles an hour, you would want it in that closed position. We do have a recommendation setting down here at the bottom left. So it says recommendations. So this will give you a recommendation on how to set your orifice valve, and if you have a high flow system, how to set your flow meter valve. So we go in and we tell it our working speed, 15 miles an hour at 12 gallons to the acre, and it will recommend us to go to the standard flow. So the recommended valve configuration, if we have the high flow, is going to be manually close the flow meter, which is the first valve after the flow meters, and then open the orifice valve. So if we changed our parameters to 10 miles an hour and 10 gallons to the acre, you're going to see that it's going to recommend us to go into that low flow mode. So manually close the flow meter if we have the high flow option, and then manually close the orifice valve for 10 gallons at 10 miles an hour. So the only times that you would modify these is when you're changing application rates that are fairly drastic, or you're changing application speed range. Just keep in mind right here at the note that the selected mode must match the physical positions of the flow meter and the orifice valves that are on the actual sprayer above the left-hand rear wheel. Follow the on-screen configurations to select the current mode. So if the rate mode selected does not match with the information from the machine, so that it sees when you're going across the field, you are alerted that an adjustment is needed. And you're going to see it right here in the status. It's going to say adjust. So then you would either adjust the flow rate mode inside here, or you would actually go out to the machine and adjust the valve positions. That's a short video on the flow rate mode and orifice valve positions inside of our spray system app. Thanks for watching.